Hi, chat. We're here for some late night gaming. I decided not to put a hat on because I don't know. I felt like just not putting a hat on. I should probably grab my controller. Okay. Also, I'm not catching any game audio, so let me adjust that really quick. Just because I'm not sure if it's gonna be like super loud for you all. So, curious as to why. Oh, you know what? I think I figured out the issue. Aha! Okay, let me turn that back down. So I did some brief troubleshooting, and the problem is I didn't actually switch my output to my PC. So that is where that issue was found out. So what are we planning for the stream? Honestly, chat, I have no idea. To be completely honest, I just kind of was like, you know what? I got some miniatures painted, so you know, I'll just do a little bit of gaming. Also, for anybody who is interested, is I am posting the link to my Discord server. So if you are interested in following any sort of miniature painting adventures that I've been working on, also you're just a fan of Pokemon, you're a fan of Digimon, you're a fan of Star Wars, you're a fan of Souls games, anything like that, you can drop over to the Discord and check all that stuff out. I've got a handful of people over there, and it's a good time. I highly recommend it. If it just kind of meet other like-minded people. So, what are goals that I have with Pokemon Emerald? I know I've talked about this relatively in depth before, but for anybody who's new to stream, as of this time, I'm working on a complete shiny playthrough of Pokemon Emerald. And where I'm at, just hang tight just another second. I just needed to mess with some computer settings really quick. Is I can actually pull up in the PC the collection of shinies. I am roughly 5 Pokemon away from having this all completed. So all I need is evolve my Shroomish, evolve my Feebas. I've got the Metagross on my team. I got the Salamence on my team. I realize now that they're in the different spots. The Latios is in my team. All I need now are just evolving those 2. Get Rayquaza. Get Jirachi. Get Deoxys. And I have everything captured for shinies. I've also gotten any Pokemon that are like alternate, like gender variations introduced in Gen 4, because I do eventually plan to transfer these shinies up through the games. The other thing that I'm still trying to work out details for what I'm going to do is how extensively do I want to Ribbon Master, and who am I Ribbon Mastering? So the idea that I have right now is Swampert, Mence, and Meta. I think those are going to probably end up being Ribbon Masters where I get everything that I can for the Gen 3 games. I could try and shoot for doing all of it with my Battle Frontier team. Again, I'm still kind of working on details myself. I haven't fully committed one way or another. But I've got just a plentiful array of shinies that I'm planning to transfer. Does this mean I'm working on a shiny living dex? It really looks as though I'm making my way towards doing such a thing, but I'm also gonna be completely upfront. Is I still haven't finished the regular living dex that I'm working on. I would probably have to be doing streaming full-time to justify the style that I would want to do my shiny living decks, because like the living decks I'm working on still I started coming up on about 7 years ago. So it's a doozy. I'll just put it like that. So what else am I planning to do? Well, what I would like to do is I was able to get Pokerus naturally in the game. Yep, so you can see the Pokerus here on the Torchic. I got that while I was doing some EV training, which was a phenomenal find. Now, what I'd like to do is be able to spread Pokerus to every shiny that I have for Hoenn, and all the Hoenn Pokemon have the Hoenn ribbon. So that when I get to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, get the Day of the Week ribbon and the Hoenn ribbon, and just kind of cook from there, which I think would be really, really cool to show off, kind of a thing. How far down do I have Pokerus is a great question. Not very far, at least in this box, but I want to say I've got it spread pretty well through this box. So what we may end up doing for the stream is just kind of chat for a little bit. We're gonna do it'll be a little bit like mindless grinding. We'll just do some Elite Four run-throughs. We'll do that, and then maybe we'll kind of pivot over to the Battle Frontier. Sorry, words are hard. Also, really quick, the shiny Slugma that I got in Pokemon Coliseum, which is kind of insane. Absolutely bonkers. Really don't like the color of how it looks in Coliseum. I mean, most of the shinies look kind of bad in Coliseum, but I think with when the game was being developed, it wasn't very the team that worked on Coliseum and XD weren't really familiar with Pokemon before they started the project. So that's probably part of why there's a kind of a difference in colors for the shinies. So I'm just kind of using this to refamiliarize myself. It has been a little bit since I've actually looked through the boxes to see who all has Pokerus. So I will need to definitely keep at least one or two Pokerus holders to make sure that I can actually spread it, and figure out who I need to also get the ribbon for, which I guess I could just take a second to take a look at that. Chat, I hope everybody's been having a good morning, evening, night, whatever time it is for you at the moment. For me, it is just now become Friday, and I'm up late. Just like I said, I got finished painting some Star Wars Legion minis and decided, you know what, I'm gonna stream. It's been a little bit, and wanting to play a little bit of Emerald, so that's why we're jumping into that. So really quick, we're just gonna take a look and see who all has the champion ribbon, so that we know who to start running through the the Elite Four. I don't know why my brain's just half working right now. Okay, so the last... Okay, so Mightyana's the last one there. Laron, Aggron, nothing on Torkoal. Yep, I probably got those just while I was grinding, trying to get them evolved. Claydol, Cradily, Armaldo, Banette, Dusclops, Glalie. Okay, so, and then I think all the gender variants that I have set to the side are... Okay, so I've got them there. So I think what we'll need to do then is let's go into the PC and let's kind of set up our team so that way we can spread the rust. While I'm moving stuff around, let's think of a question of the day, chat. I do also realize that I need to eventually work on making Pokeblocks. I probably should figure out about getting the Berry Master to actually pop up so I can start almost incentivize myself to do it. I also have recently learned that I'm really bad. I'm really bad at Pokeblock blending, which I remember years ago I was kind of okay at it, but now I am dog water at it now. I think the last time I made Pokeblocks is I was more good than I think if I had to compare, it was like for every one perfect was maybe like 2 goods and 1 or 2 fails. Like, it was not good odds. Not good odds at all. I don't know if there's any sort of a delay going when you're playing on like the GB player or the like streaming through OBS. So, and I think the resolution's a little bit different with the GB player, so that probably kind of throws me off a little bit when I'm doing it. So I might have to do a little bit of a janky setup when I actually record for the big YouTube video that I would like to do, which, shameless plug, I have not 1 but 2 YouTube channels. So I'm dropping those here in the chat. There will also be some links that pop up during the stream. And it's just going to be my main channel, which doesn't have a lot right now. I've got a couple of ideas that I've been working on here on the back end. The gaming channel, I can confirm that there is going to be a new video dropping in about 6 hours. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be where any stream VODs get uploaded. But throw a subscription over there. If you are watching this VOD over on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you are new to the YouTube or to the stream, my name is Matt. This is my stream, The Coffee Bar. It's cozy. We just come in, we vibe, we joke around, we have a good time. And if that's something that you're interested in, please do stick around. And while I'm on the thought, the question of the day is going to be, since we are going to fight the Elite Four, who is your favorite Elite Four member? This will be popping up momentarily. If I had to pick, my first answer, and it's partially from nostalgia and just having fondness for the teams that he used, is Lance. He's probably like my first thought. I'm excluding champions. So like Lance kind of fits in this weird spot where it's like, well, he's an Elite Four member, but he's also a champion depending on the game that you play. I've definitely grown. I don't have as much fondness for Lance as I used to. So if I had to pick now, I do like Rika from Scarlet and Violet. I don't feel any strong feelings towards any of the Kalos Elite Four members. There's not really an Elite Four in Sword and Shield. Sun and Moon, nothing really sticks out. Chantal kind of sticks out in Black and White. Gen 4 is Aaron. I can't remember the Bertha? I think Bertha's her name. Flint is fun. I do find Flint's personality to be kind of fun. Who else? And then I don't really like the final Elite Four member, Gen 4. I do have a strong fondness for Gen 3. Same with Gen 2. I would probably, if I had to pick, I would probably go between either... Drake's pretty high up there. I am a fan of Koga. Bruno's okay. I might have to say Drake, honestly. Drake's always got good teams, and we're actually gonna get to fight him today. I think that might be my pick for it, chat. All right. Hariyama. Now I need somebody that can spread Pokerus. Because unfortunately, you guys have lost Pokerus just because of grinding and leaving you in the team. Let's go for... Okay, who has Pokerus in this box? Who has the Pokerus? Okay, Torkoal does. Torkoal I do need to level up as well. Now, what I'm hoping is also the case is if I can keep... Because I don't know how long I'm going to have until that Pokerus essentially expires, or like basically is like healed or whatever the exact terminology for Pokerus is. But I'm hoping I can get at least a couple runs with them without kind of losing out on being able to spread it. Okay, so Pelipper, we're gonna fly. Because if I can get two per run would be good. The other thing that I was kind of hoping for is before I was doing this grind is actually run through and actually go get Rayquaza. And just Rayquaza up front, maybe one is backup, fill 3 spots, and then a spreader, and just kind of go. But unfortunately, don't particularly have that luxury at the moment, just because I don't have Rayquaza. So that's no problem at all. But yeah, we're gonna go do some run-throughs of the Elite Four. This is gonna be the team. We're just trying to spread Pokerus and get some extra levels. Pelipper's almost to 100. The team that I'm actually using is half of the team I used in my most recent Ruby playthrough for my living decks. which was Sceptile, Pelipper, Hariyama, Minun, Absol, and Camerupt. And weirdly enough, just because of the Elite Four and the moveset that I put onto Pelipper, ended up being a very, very, very hard carry for the team. I think that was the first Pokemon that hit level 100 for my Ruby team, and then not far after was Camerupt. But just really, really fun team to use. So I'm kind of using those. The team that I'm using for the Battle Frontier shares two members with the team that I used in my Sapphire playthrough. Also had a great time with that team. That was Swampert, Breloom, Altaria, Bayonet, Torkoal, and Plusle. Great team. Had a lot of fun with that. Let's do Vital Throw, just because I think it should be a for sure one-hit knockout. So it's been cool going and doing this like full shiny playthrough. That way I can get the shiny versions of teams that I had previously used, and also still have the flexibility to like, oh, I'm going to pivot and, you know, I have the Battle Frontier team, or, you know, I have the ability to use like, oh, this is the team that I used in my first ever Omega Ruby playthrough, or the last time I played Emerald. You know, I have a lot of different options for Ho and Mons. And I like to typically with games is the region that they're set is I try to typically use Pokemon of that region. Only a handful of exceptions to that I've had. One of them being my Legend ZA team, which was all just Gen 1, Gen 2 Mons, which I'll put a pin in that thought here momentarily, and we'll come back to that. Gen 2, you know, whenever I'm playing through, actually when I played through Crystal the last time, is I had to do, Gens 1 and 2, because there's not a crazy amount of options. And I gotta say, I am a huge fan of Gen 2. It's where I started playing the Pokemon games. The problem with it, though, is there are some Gen 2 Pokemon that are locked to post-game. So you lose out on some of that team variety, and that does kind of feel bad. So, unfortunately, losing out on the team variety, I'm forced into having to use the Gen 1 Pokemon. Now, with my Heart Gold playthrough and Soul Silver, because that was a decision of all time, I tried doing 2 living dexes. if y'all haven't heard of that story before. So Heart Gold, I was able to, I ended up cheesing a little bit. I'm gonna be completely upfront. I actually bred for a Dragon Dancing Larvitar separate from Heart Gold Soul Silver, got the egg, traded it to Heart Gold Soul Silver, so I started the game with a Larvitar. Some people could call that cheating. I say I wanted to do a playthrough with Tyranitar, so I didn't want to wait till, late into post-game, because it's my playthrough, I do what I want. But, all that aside, that team was entirely Gen 2. Because it was Living Dex, I wanted to have Pokemon that I had never used before or had used rarely, and kept the team to specifically, you can only use Pokemon in the region. So, Heart Gold I used, but once I got everybody evolved, Typhlosion, Tyranitar, Scizor, Xatu, Quagsire, Ampharos. I'm pretty certain that's the case. Once I got into post-game, I actually went and bred for a timid... Was it timid or was it modest? It was either a timid or a modest Kingdra. Timid or modest Horsey, because I know how evolution chains work. So I went and I did some breeding to get a Horsey, ended up evolving it into Kingdra, and it was cool once I got it leveled up enough. Is I jumped. I took Quagsire out, put the Kingdra in, and just did Elite Four runs to get it grinded up. And once it was able to kind of stand on its own 2 feet, and just was doing Elite Four runs, and the moveset I put on that Kingdra was kind of slick. Not, I'm gonna kind of toot my own horn a little bit, but I think I was running something like Draco Meteor, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Hyper Beam. Again, going back to what I was saying about Lance being kind of a big favorite for Pokemon, is that's part of why I do that for some dragon types, is just drop Hyper Beam and go haha funny. But now that I remember that I had put the pin in the team that I built for Legend ZA, part of the reason I built the team the way that I did, which was Meganium, Gyarados, Heracross, the shiny Ampharos, Pidgeot, and Houndoom. The intention with that team being built the way it is I have been getting a little bit of a desire to play through the Gen 2 games again. So either Crystal or Heart Gold or Soul Silver. It'll probably end up being Soul Silver because I want to leave my Heart Gold save file as it is. But if I do another Johto playthrough, that's the team that I would want to do. And if I did it in Soul Silver, I could transfer it up all the way through the new games. If I did it on like Gold, Silver, or Crystal, I would have to go through a couple of peripherals to actually be able to get those save files onto a 3DS to then go through. It just, I haven't really thought too much about it. I've got enough Pokemon projects on my radar at the moment. I've got the Emerald project that I'm working on. I guess like Emerald Gen 3 project, however you want to call it. And then I'm also trying to finish my living decks and casual shiny hunting, which I've had significant success with. I don't know if the Pursuit gets the knockout, but we're gonna go for it. If I have to pop a revive, we pop a revive. Okay. So that's kind of the reason I built the team like I did in ZA. And the game's fine. I have been working on a script. I haven't touched it in a little while. A script for a big video that would be just a review of the base game. I won't give too much of my thoughts here, but there were definitely aspects of the game that that Game Freak and Pokemon Company did a good job with. It's not my favorite Pokemon game. I think there are a lot of characters there were a handful of characters that irritated me, and I just did not enjoy watching, when they were on screen. And if you want to see some of my ZA playthrough, that is on my gaming channel. Shameless plug real quick. There were a handful of characters that I really did enjoy seeing on screen. Just kind of just helping world building, and they had fun personalities. Just enjoyed to see them on the screen. Story got kind of bonkers at the end. Leading up to it, you know, it was kind of the build into it kind of felt, yeah, there was a progression to it, but it wasn't like, oh, this is going to be absolutely insane. Or at least I didn't feel that sort of pressure looming over. Talked about the characters, gameplay and location, I think, is really where the biggest problems that I have are. Just because you're in the exact same place the entire game. I think that was really that's really my biggest gripe with ZA is tired of hearing, I'm tired of hearing the Lumiose theme. I'm tired of running around the same city. Yeah, there's the wild zones, but, you know, the wild zones are probably the more unique areas in the game. But everything else, it just blends together. I could not tell you, like, if you were like, hey, can you, without looking at your map, know how to get to this location, I'd tell you I had zero idea, and that you were absolutely out of your mind, you know, thinking that I had that capability. It just all looks the same, and I think that's the biggest problem. Thankful that I did that the pin system is a thing, so that has helped navigation quite a bit. Game's fine. I personally would say I'm more of a fan of Scarlet and Violet over Legends ZA. Yes, Scarlet and Violet does have a lot of issues in and of itself. It was very buggy upon release. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't. I play on Switch 1. It's definitely got its issues, but I just find the game to be more fun. You have a lot more variety, and I think you just have more stuff to be able to do. Whereas ZA, even with the DLC, it still feels like there's not really that much to do. So that's kind of just brief synopsis of some of my thoughts, and I intend to go into a lot more detail once I actually finish that script and get that video posted. It's just gotten put super on the back burner. If for those that end up joining the Discord, excuse me. For those that joined the Discord, you'll see that one of the big things that's taken up a lot of my time, and I'm not complaining about this in any way, shape, or form, but I've been painting minis a lot. I've been painting minis for the Star Wars Legion tabletop game, and as of recently, actually got into the Shatterpoint Star Wars tabletop. So think of, if you're not familiar, Legion is like big army. The Shatterpoint is more skirmish, so you're only looking at 8 minis on the table. So it's going to be more of like, I'm trying because like I'm trying to explain it in a way that's not super, kind of keep it vague, because there's not a lot of, there's, yes, video gaming and tabletop gaming sometimes have some crossover, but for folks who have very little or just choose not to indulge in tabletop. I'm just kind of trying to explain it in a way that's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, but it's not getting super in the weeds. I guess that's kind of what. Essentially, the idea is you have a primary character, which is going to be your Obi-Wans, your Anakins, your Darth Vaders, your, like the heroes of sorts. Secondary characters are going to be are they secondaries or supports? I can't remember offhand, but I could probably kind of glance over the specifics. But your second component to the squad are going to be like Stormtrooper Sergeant or Clone Commander Cody, Clone Commander Rex, maybe a Leia, or, I think there's like a primary and secondary Leia, but, just to kind of give an idea. And then your support characters are to complete your squad, so you'll have 4. I know how to do math. So to complete your 4, your last 2 are going to be kind of your, like, standard infantry. So this would be your, this would be your clone troopers. This would be your stormtroopers, shore troopers. This would be maybe in like a particular squad that's like, that's actually specifically built as a 4. Is it's like, named character 1 and 2, or whatever that is. So those have really been where that's been a lot of where my time and energy. Oh my lord, I don't know how to talk apparently. But that's where a lot of my time and energy has been going, is just working on getting a bunch of minis painted. My pile of shame got increased quite a bit. I kind of jumped in the hobby, and I was kind of like, do a little bit here, do a little bit here. And then finally I actually was like, all right, I'm going to actually like learn how to start painting minis. And now it's just kind of consumed. Again, it's not anything that I'm complaining about in any way, shape, or form. I've been enjoying the hobby and been able to paint a handful of different things that are still all Star Wars related. I don't know why you guys aren't getting Pokerus. I really hope you aren't fibbing. Let me try putting you there. Also, make sure your guys are staying hydrated. I'm going to drink a little bit more water. Chat, what I might even do, just for the sake of getting Pokerus spread, we'll finish this run through the Elite Four. What we might even do is might just go fight some random wild Pokemon, just so that way we can at least finish getting the Pokerus spread. Also, we can just maximize team space to get it, to continue getting the widespread, disease, essentially. And then we probably could jump back into the Elite Four. I don't know that we will be able to get Pokerus on everything by the end of stream. Oh, that's what I should do. I should switch, put Pelly up. I doubt we will be able to get all of that done by this stream, but that's kind of game plan. That's kind of what I'm thinking we can shoot for. Okay. It's a Shogun. yeah, something I'm really excited about. Was just thinking about with Drake, because I know we were talking about, I would say I'm a big fan of Drake. For a long time, Dragon type was one of my favorite types in the game, that and Fire types. I'm more of a fighting type guy myself, but getting, off the tangent and back into the point I was making previously, is one thing I'm really excited to do once I get all of this stuff transferred forward is seeing the shiny Mega Evolutions in XY Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So, Drake uses not shiny, man, it's brother. I don't know why my brain is just not functioning. It might be because it's so late, but, whatever. Mega Salamence, and then there's like I think it's, Phoebe is the Sableye, Absol Mega for Sydney for sure, Mega Glalie for Glacia, and then Mega Metagross for Steven. And being able to take these teams, which have a handful of Pokemon that can use the Mega Evolution mechanic, is having those in the team and being able to see the shinies of them is gonna be really neat. Kingdra, I think we could just Hariyama, because I can just Vital Throw and be annoying. So that's something I'm really excited to do. And unfortunately, because of the limited dexes that have been happening since Sword and Shield, is I'm not going to be able to pull everybody into Legend ZA, but there are going to be a couple Pokemon that I can transfer in with the Mega Evolutions. I don't remember if Gen 3 got new Mega Evolutions in ZA between base and DLC. I guess while I'm thinking about it, and I'm just waiting for the attack to finish, let me... take that. New Mega Evolutions. Okay. No. Starmie, Dragonite, Meganium, Skarmory. Yes, the Chai... Oh, that's... Yes. Okay, yes. So there were a couple for Gen 3. So the Chimecho Mega, which that'll be a lot of fun to see that shiny. And then the Mega Absol Z, which for this particular team, the Ruby team, the Sceptile, Hariyama, Pelipper, Camerupt, Absol, and plus Minun. I get the teams confused sometimes, but basically the way that I remember is Ruby team and Sapphire team just use the one that's the opposite color. So that makes sense. But the Mega Absol Z, by using that as well as the kind of new moves that Absol gets access to, actually patches up some of the coverage issues that the team has. Yeah, stop learning Amnesia, because the Ghost type is just really, really good. Yeah, Absol's Dark type, so it already has Psychic coverage, but just having another way to be kind of an offensive, just offense. I think the stats on Mega Absol Z also really fix a lot of issues that Absol had. Brother, why? Why are you guys not getting... I wonder if I probably won't see the Pokerus spread until after this last fight. Who do you start with? You start with Skarmory, don't you? Oh, I probably should have had Minun in, so I'm gonna have to brute force my way through through the Skarmory. Wait, no, it's, wow, it has been so long since I've played Emerald. Wallace is the champion. Yikes, chat. I am apparently firing on so few cylinders that I have played... How many hours am I on this save file? I am over 200 hours on this save file, and I've played Emerald a very large amount in my life, and I forgot that Wallace is the champion in this. We're doing fine, chat. We are doing just fine. Okay. So this... So then the Gyarados. The Gyarados is going to be a problem. The Tentacruel is going to be a bit of a problem. Okay. Okay. I think we should still be fine. It's just going to be a little janky. Wailord, I think, should go down. One Leaf Blade. Should be. I think the last thought I was kind of rambling on about was... yeah, it was the Ruby team with Mega Absol Z. That'll be a lot of fun to get to tinker around with. Not going to be able to use the entirety of this team because things like Torkoal's not available, the two mice, Pelipper's not in ZA. I'm trying to think that Hariyama's not. Yeah, so really I would only have access to Absol and Sceptile from this team. I am quite devastated that wasn't a one-hit knockout. But you will pop your Citrus Berry. And then, like, the Sapphire team is Swampert, Altaria, Banette are available, but no Plusle, no Breloom. Who am I missing? No Torkoal. So I'll have... Oh, I guess Camerupt is on my Ruby team. So I will have access to some of the team members in ZA, but I'm not going to have access to everybody, which is a little bit of a bummer. But, you know, and unfortunately, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles with the current state of the Pokemon games. Something that I would like to do before Pokemon Day, if I can get a stream in, is I want to record a video where it's 30 things that I would like to see for the 30th anniversary. It is heavily inspired by a video that I had seen by Dusty Go-Goat and Lorekeeper Toby. I believe Dusty Go-Goat is his name. If it's not, because it was updated, I was not aware. But it was those two talking about things that they wanted to see for the next Pokemon game. And no, you know what it was? I remember. It wasn't just Dusty Go-Goat and Lorekeeper Toby. It was a handful of other YouTubers, and it was like 20-ish things, but there was a little bit of overlap with some of the things that the different YouTubers were talking about. I think there was a little bit of a missed opportunity. So what I would like to do is gather... Ooh, that was a good crit. 30 things that I would like to see for the 30th anniversary. There will be a couple things that is going to be sort of like a, it'll be like, you know, stuff related to the TCG, maybe something related to the anime, or, you know, like some stuff that's not just specific to the games. But because I primarily, for the franchise, indulge in the franchise with the video games, that's going to be a major focus for it. So I've got a handful of things written down, but I have a couple kind of just like knocking around in my head. I just haven't actually fully sat down and like, okay, this is another thing that I want to make sure to add into that list. So that's something that I gotta work on and try to get ready for the week, since as of this time, we're exactly 7 days away from the Pokemon Presents for the 30th anniversary, which is still a great. Can we take a second to talk about the fact that Pokemon is about to turn 30? I feel old. I am older than Pokemon. I'm not going to specify how much older than Pokemon, but I am older than Pokemon. And that is still a crazy thing to think about. But, you know, I played a lot of Pokemon in my life, and, you know, I'm playing it right now. But, you know, so long as you're having fun, who cares? Sometimes I have fun. I was trying to think of something funny to have gone with that, but I got nothing right now, chat. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan coming up. Work on the 30 things I'd like to see for the 30th anniversary. Honestly, I realized that by having not worn a hat, my hair makes me look a little bit like I'm a psychopath. All right. What other videos? Because I've got the ZA that I've got kind of cooking in the background. Got the 30 things for the 30th anniversary. Thought I had another video idea. Can't remember what it is. Because it was, weirdly enough, it was a video that I was actually thinking is I could have just recorded the 30 things for the anniversary and this other one in the same stream. The problem is, I can't remember what that other idea was. Worst case scenario, I remember it a day that's not today, and then I just do a stream and go, hey, we're recording YouTube videos. Oh no, oh gosh. Like, you know. But yeah, so that's kind of what's cooking here in the Coffee Bar camp. The Intimidate drop definitely hurts. Now the question is, do you full restore again? Yes, you do. Okay, so that at least gives me a free turn. What'll happen? Hariyama will go down. I think we just throw Sceptile in, just Leaf Blade, and say, let's go. Yeah, Hariyama goes down. But yeah, like I said, I think the plan for the rest of the stream is we'll finish the Wallace fight, and then we'll just go kind of fight some random wild Pokemon just to get the Pokerus spread. Once we do that, we'll see what time looks like. But if I can, hopefully by the end of stream, if I can at least get Pokerus spread across the entirety of the Hoenn Dex, then I think we'll have succeeded. Which will mean that I will still have to go and do the grind to get the ribbons on everybody, but we can worry about that. We can worry about that at another time, because I'm not sure that we'll be streaming long enough to be able to get all that done. Because we're already about an hour into stream. I think this run took probably 20-30 minutes, I think, just because I've been yapping. So it's definitely gonna be a little bit of a grind. So it's, you know, come through, hang out as we do some grinding. That'll be for a later day, but we'll still be doing a little bit of grinding, trying to fight wild Pokemon and spread Pokerus. So definitely strap in and hang out. But let's go register as the champion. And then, chat, what we're going to do is, as credits are starting to roll, is I will step away for a couple minutes, just use the facilities. And I'm actually not going to change to the be right back screen. We're just going to kind of let the credit music play, because it's really, really good. Is where we keep records of Pokemon that prevailed through harsh battles. It is here that the League champions are honored. Come on, let's record your name as a trainer who triumphed over the Pokemon League and the names of the partners who battled with you. Before I do transfer all my shinies out, I will have to figure out nicknames for the shinies. And it's going to feel really weird putting nicknames on legendaries. I don't know what it is, but like giving a nickname to a legendary just feels weird. And that's a personal thing. It's not, I'm not saying like if you do it you're wrong or anything like that. I'm not here to yuck your yum. But like for me personally, it's just going to feel really, really weird. But then it'd be weird if I had like, oh, I have like four Pokemon that I have nicknames for, and then everybody else is just regular. You know, I kind of got to lean one way or another. And unfortunately, you know, I've got the Mudkip that started this this whole shiny run through. I named him Kipper. Not a real like fancy nickname, but it works. I'm not looking for, you know, a Grammy for best Pokemon nickname ever. But yeah, I'll figure out some nicknames. But chat, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute the mic. I'm gonna turn the webcam off. We're gonna just hang tight for a few. And once we get back, we'll get into some wild Pokemon hunting. All right, stand by. There we go. So I made some pretty good time. We got back right as the credits finished rolling. Let me grab some more water. Realized, because I have my TV connected to my PC, I just realized that I never turned my TV on before I started stream, but I won't need it right now. A couple of I think it's just one update, thinking about it. I did actually add a couple of new little channel point rewards that you can redeem. First one is just a quick little hello. So you can redeem that. That's only going to be 10 channel points. So something kind of quick and easy that'll be kind of cool to utilize. You didn't. Neither of you got it. Weird. And the big one currently is the highest channel point count. Is I'm actually inspired by a streamer that I rated, which highly recommend. You'll see the streamer's name down there as the most recent follow, the SNWCS. I'm not sure exactly what how the streamer pronounces the name, if there's something kind of particular that they use, but they after watching the stream, it was a lot of fun and kind of gave me the idea of, what if I did a potential stream in a maid costume? I understand that it's going to be extremely goofy, and you know, it's going to definitely be kind of clip farmy, but at the same time it'll be something goofy, just to get a little bit of engagement and get some good hee-hees and ha-has. So that's kind of the maid costume stream is the channel points. It's 25,000. So if that's something that tickles your fancy, then you are more than welcome to go and save up your channel points and prepare for that. After we do that stream, if we end up doing that stream because somebody redeems it, we will see what ends up happening afterwards. But as of right now, those are kind of the current kind of channel point rewards. So let me pull the EXP share right now. For anybody who might be stopping by this stream, is right now we're just gonna be working on fighting some wild Pokemon. We're just trying to spread Pokerus along hopefully the entirety of the rest of my shiny Hoenmons. So we're just working on that right now. Torkoal, I'm pretty sure, is already EV trained, so I don't have to worry about getting a bunch of unnecessary EVs. Ribbons, you should... Yeah, so I just got the champion ribbon on Torkoal, as well as the effort ribbon, so we're not gonna have to worry about any like unnecessary EVs. I did kind of build the Torkoal a little bit specifically. I think it was, I want to say I did something where it was like max HP, max special attack, and it'd be kind of cool to eventually use it for maybe some like VGC stuff, but that's kind of a, I don't want to say it's like a job in and of itself, but you have to put in a lot of time for it. And I've dabbled a little bit with it on ladder, but it's just not, currently it's not a big priority. Maybe with once champions drop, since I see what the available pool of Pokemon to use on that are, maybe I'll mess around with VGC. I do have a group that I can do some of that testing with. I haven't met up with them in a while, and I think the meetups kind of died off just because we don't have a lot of the turnout isn't super high, but you know, you can't win them all, sort of a situation. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so now I could drop the next batch in. But yeah, so that's other than like for potential VGC stuff, that's probably about the only reason why I would why I've been EV training. So just to keep track of everything for myself. Is I actually have an Excel spreadsheet because I am a tryhard. Hang tight. Actually, hold on. Let me actually make my life a little bit easier. Let me move it over there. Okay. So, Wurmple up to Cascoon now have Pokerus. Cool. Alright, so now what I'll probably do is leave Cascoon in the party just to make sure that I don't end up having the Why Not and the Torkoal end up having kind of like expiring the ability to be contagious. So that's what I'll do. And I think I might just leave Cascoon in the party so that way I at least have somebody to spread it. Whoop. Push the button one too many times. Okay. Yeah, so that's just what we're working on right now, is just trying to get Pokerus spread around. I think it would just be kind of cool for whatever reason down the line if I get some, you know, shinies in later games as I'm grinding or doing whatever, is I can spread the Pokerus and I'll have plenty of options. I have in, it's either Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. I was actually traded by my roommate a Fennekin with Pokerus, and I think it's just sitting in the box forever. But be able to maybe, like, you know, hey, I'll spread it to, you know, like the Spiky or Pichu that I have in Heart Gold, and that'll just kind of live in that cartridge. But if I end up getting a shiny, or, you know, I do whatever in the game and I just want to make my life a little bit easier, I can spread the Pokerus to it, make my EV training go faster. Just kind of have it as like a little badge of like, yeah, I found the cool thing. I think I was actually, when I got Pokerus, I want to say I was EV training, not on the route that we're currently on, but it's the one when you go to Odale and you go, I know my camera is mirrored, but if you go to the town to the left, so for you guys that would be that way, I ended up just getting it from random encounters, just doing EV training. Okay, so I'll have to do a couple more fights. So that was really cool. So this has been a really lucky playthrough. For those wondering how I've been so successful with shinies, is full transparency, I did the RNG manipulation. The RNG in Emerald is pretty busted, so I just kind of use that in my favor. Getting everything set up to actually do the run took a while, though. I think I was, just to figure out how to even start the process, I think it took me, I think it was getting close to like 2 weeks, and I think this was probably the 4th or 5th playthrough that I had started just to try and get that calibration correct. But once I finally got it, it was just kind of go from there. So this Emerald project, I started, I think it was November of 2024.
So we're coming up on a year and a half that I've been working on this. It was kind of weird how it started, because it started a little bit like I was trying to do a Professor Oak's challenge. So I was doing that, and eventually reached a point where I was actually catching legendaries. I had some help from somebody who had an Eon ticket that they were willing to do the record mix with, so that's how I was able to get both of the Lotties. I do have a copy of the Coliseum bonus disc, so I'll be able to get Jirachi. But with trying to get specific natures on things like Kyogre and the Latios, is per reset, I was sitting idle for almost an hour, and unfortunately just wasn't hitting the proper frames, or once I actually had the shiny pop up, I was failing the catch. So after a while, as I was just experiencing some pretty significant burnout, like I was dreading picking up the game. And so finally I caught the Latios, finally, just to do something a little bit different. I worked on a playthrough of Coliseum, played through that, did the Battle Tower, was able to do the Ho-Oh, but came to find out afterwards, you don't get the ribbon for doing the Mount Battle fight through the, it's not the Coliseum story mode, but is it the battle mode is what they call it? Something kind of along those lines. But basically it's like the two different methods to do it. Yeah, so it was like there's the two different ways to do it in Coliseum. One of them, you get the Ho-Oh. The other one, you get the ribbon. Well, I did the one for the Ho-Oh thinking I would get the ribbon. I didn't. So that, already on top of being pretty unenthusiastic about the project and just like, I'm not really having a good time. This is just annoying. And finally I got done with that. I think it was basically like going through all the effort, because there was one battle I was stuck on for hours. Finally got that battle done, didn't get the ribbons, and I was like, no, I'm not enjoying myself right now. So essentially what I did was traded everything over from Coliseum to Emerald, so I have all the Shadow Pokemon from that. Did the Mount Battle stuff with the Ruby team, which you saw a couple of the members of. And then I just put the Pokemon games down for some time. I think I stepped away for probably, I want to say 3 or 4 months. Because I was hoping to have gotten a little bit of this done and maybe start progressing forward in the games closer to when ZA officially dropped, but I was just like, no, I need to play something else. I've been playing too much Pokemon type of a thing. So kind of stepped away, was working on some other stuff, and came back, and with a little bit of rejuvenation, and just kind of slowly plugging away at it. Emerald, I've kind of left pretty exclusively to playing on stream. So that's kind of where that's kind of been, just kind of showing off the stuff that I'm working on, and
you know, excuse me. Once I jumped back into Pokemon, it was before I started streaming. I should say started streaming again. I did stream a handful of times before, but just hadn't fully committed, if you will. So just kind of, I came back after a while and I was like, you know, I'm streaming now. Let's stream the Emerald Project, and I think that could be kind of a cool thing to be showing off, because it's, you know, all shinies and that kind of bit. Some of the stuff that I can confirm, I do have photos, and I might have a couple videos for a handful of them. But 3 of the 4 symbols I did get off stream. The one that I did get on stream is this one right here, which I think is the first time ever in my life that I am aware of that I've gotten the silver symbol for this facility. I know I got this years ago as a kid. I got this one as a kid. Never got this one. So two symbols already are things that I've never done before. So that is kind of a cool feeling. We're gonna drop a save really quick. I'm also gonna update this Excel spreadsheet right here. The thing that I should have utilized when I started my Living Dex project, that's for sure. Sorry. I also had an itch on my leg that I needed to scratch. Probably not information you needed to know, but, you know, you were sitting there staring at my giant forehead for a minute, so I figured I at least explain myself. Yeah, like looking here at the spreadsheet is one of the things that I did a little bit down just as I was going through the project. One of the homies that I played the Digimon card game with, he's we'll still like chat and like play over some simulators, but I haven't seen him in person outside of one time. And you know, he's kind of who told me, it was like, oh yeah, the RNG manipulation, and you know, like, you know, here's some kind of resources to use for Battle Frontier and stuff. In that Discord server I did updates for, you know, how many shinies do I have? Oh, I just finished a gym leader fight. So when I do eventually work on the large video talking about my experience doing this project, is I'll be able to have some timestamps and actually have the Discord messages where I kind of explain, like, hey, you know, it was on this day that I did whatever fight. And I might even be able to provide from the Discord message a little bit of an explanation as to, like, oh, how did the fight go? What did I do? What was the strategy? Who was on the team? Kind of a thing. So that'll be kind of a cool little, like, retrospective into kind of where, just kind of looking back on the project, because I don't have the footage for it. I found this out. So when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start streaming, I said I have the resources to do it. I may as well give it a shot. And I go and I'm like trying to get stuff set up. I can't find my capture card. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to order a new one. it was pretty cheap. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it wasn't that much. So I was like, okay, cool. I got the capture card. I got everything set up. Well, I had a handful of PC issues that I was resolving. Come to find out, the capture card I put in the box with all my other PC boxes. So I always had the capture card. I just forgot where I put it because it was not something I was regularly using. So I have 2 capture cards. You know what the capture cards do not capture though? DS gameplay. After I finish this Emerald project, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna actually capture gameplay on a DS and or 3DS. So that'll be a future map problem. But I've got plenty to do here in Emerald still. I've still got plenty to do in Elden Ring, which I haven't picked that up in a handful of weeks. My roommate was actually just giving me a hard time about it. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that... Oh, wait, hold on. Yes. So I could do it. I feel like it does add a little bit of an extra step. However... this kind of works. Okay. So let me last do this switch. I do not want to heal my Pokemon in the Pokemon Center. But can I restore my Pokemon at my house? Gen 3 Pokerus. Okay. Let me just double check. Okay, indifferences. Contracted. Okay, so it cannot... the Pokemon goes right as it adjacent. Otherwise, the Pokemon is much the same way, but it was attracted even when another party already has it. Okay, so let me... okay, so Gen 2, Pokemon is the first tiny life forms. Professor will call the player the virus and no effect will wear off. We'll list the stats as such. Pokemon that has Pokerus is cured will have a small near the HP meter. End of the battle. Adjacent to... Pokerus can infect eggs. Indicator for Pokerus will not show up in the egg status screen. Once a hatch will appear under the status screen like normal. Any stage is traded to a Gen 1 game. Traces... oh. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, so pretty new infection. Okay, so heal or basically becoming. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Becoming cured occurs when a new day starts with the infected Pokemon in the party, or if the game is loaded. It's not the same day as when the game was saved. Number of days 1 to 4. Once this time has passed, the Pokemon becomes cured and immune to the virus in the future. Due to players will often place an infected in the PC. If the player deposits an infected, saves inside a Pokemon's monster prior to midnight, shows up and resumes the game after midnight, returns the infected and exits, it's possible to be cured. Oh, that makes sense why that's happened to me before. Okay, so now okay, hold on. Well, it cannot be healed or with yes. Now what's because the cured thing that I'm trying to figure out is, doesn't healing at a Pokemon Center expedite the curing portion though? That's what I'm that's what I'm trying to figure out, chat, because I'm running low on PP on my Torkoal. Data structures a single byte strains. Whenever the game creates the Poker's on a poker, the Y days strain, the number of days will be set to. Okay. Now, what about? Because I don't want to risk losing Pokerus right now. I might also just be like making things up. What else delays other than placing in the PC box? Okay. I don't have a for sure answer, but we're just gonna run with the idea that healing at the Pokemon Center is going to expedite losing Pokerus. I think I should have plenty of power points for Body Slam, so I think we should be okay with using Torkoal for a little bit. And then, like, worst case scenario, if I have to just switch to a different Pokemon to fight the random wild encounters, then so be it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever actually, like, outside of, before this playthrough, or having had Pokemon with Pokerus transferred over to me, I don't know that I've actually ever encountered it full odds. As a dumb kid, because I don't know if this is something that's frequent with others, but I definitely used a Game Shark years and years ago. You know, Game Sharks, action replays, that kind of thing. Because, like, I remember for a long time is I was the only... Like, yeah, my sister had a Pokemon game, but I was the one that had the Gen 3 games. And my sister, while she had an interest in the franchise, she wasn't as deep into it as I was. So I didn't really have I didn't have anybody really to trade with to get the any Pokemon really that you couldn't get outside of Ruby or Emerald, because those were the games that I had growing up. At least Gen 3 specifically. So I didn't have the capability to get stuff that was a little bit more exclusive, or like your Fire Red Leaf Green acquisitions, or, you know, Coliseum XD. Well, yes, I did get to borrow a copy of each of those from a then friend. I didn't get far enough into the game to be able to actually trade Pokemon into the Gen 3 games, which is, you know, it's bummer, yes. But I also didn't like those games growing up. I don't know if okay, if I had to try and reflect on who I was when I was younger, and knowing what my brain is now after having played through XD, I did a full playthrough for the first time back in 2020, I think. And then my first ever full playthrough of Coliseum I finished last year. If I had to guess why I wasn't a big fan of Coliseum and or XD, I think part of it was it wasn't as linear as the other Pokemon games. So I'm gonna throw myself under the bus here because it's me that I'm throwing under the bus. I wasn't exactly that smart when it came to gaming, or at least not really able to kind of find my way, or like it just wasn't paying attention. So that kind of backfired on me. I think it was because it wasn't like the 1v1, but it was all 2v2. I didn't really play the game having the smarts of building competent teams. I was just kind of focused on, you know, my starter. You are the go. And then, or like in Coliseum XD, is I probably would have just focused on, you know, my front two, and was gonna be frustrated when the plan didn't work. So I think ultimately what it comes down to, if I had to put it simply, I think it was a skill issue, chat. I think younger me had mad skill issues, and that's why I didn't like either of the Ore games. I was trying to look for something. I can't remember what I was looking for, though. Ultimately, yeah, I think it was a skill issue. But having played through the Coliseum and Ore games, the amount of patience that I had to have, because you don't have an extravagant amount of resources to be able to like capture new Pokemon, you're pretty limited. It's specifically Coliseum. You're pretty limited in terms of catching Pokemon, which I guess maybe that was another factor. I couldn't just build my team to be whatever. Also, grinding down the shadow gauge in those games can be a bit tedious. Yes, there are ways to cheese it, which I've discovered recently. You know, now that I'm older and the internet's a lot more, there's a lot more information related to these games available. That definitely helped out a lot with trying to do those playthroughs. So I think it was kind of a multifaceted answer as to why Coliseum and XD were not really favorites for me. I think it was, one, there was a skill issue. The shadow Pokemon grind is trying to go about it the long way, the long and honest way, and not having the flexibility in the team composition. You're pretty limited to specifically the shadow Pokemon that you catch. I think that's really where my kind of gripes with it kind of stem from. Let's go, baby. So I don't think, chat, we are going to be able to get the entirety of the Dex Pokerist. I think what we can do is, because we haven't quite hit 2 hours yet for stream, I think we could probably do like maybe 2 or 3 more bundles of Pokemon that we can get the Pokerus spread to, and then we'll probably call it there. But let me at least get the next batch queued up. Who already has it? The Shroomish that I'm evolving to Breloom. But I think that's probably, if I had to pinpoint why I didn't quite love the Aura games, is I think those would probably be the reasons why. If I had to guess, knowing what I know now. Let me also actually change to a different Pokemon that is active with Pokerus and has a little bit more power points available. An active spreader of the Rus. Okay, you do not have it. You have the ribbon, though. Rus. You do not have Rus. Oh, that's fun. I have a Zangoose with Brick Break right out the gate. That's kind of a fun little moveset to have on cast form. Yeah, fun fact about cast form. Shiny hunting in Emerald is, it can only be done from breeding. You can actually do soft resets in Ruby and Sapphire. So learn that. Ooh. I should be able to utilize you with pretty minimal issues since I have Feint Attack. Okay. Cool. Yeah, another thing that'll be really nice once I get the Pokemon transferred forward is I do have a handful that already have knockoff, and that got super buffed in Gen 6. So I'm gonna get to watch my Pokemon turn into absolute menaces. Which that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, because I think it's like Hariyama's got knockoff, Bayonet's got knockoff. I think Absol might have knockoff as well. The problem is I'm gonna want to keep the move just because it's so much utility, but it's not gonna be very strong. And I think that's gonna be a pretty big bummer. But that'll be fine. We'll just slog through for a little bit and adjust movesets around the as new stuff comes out, and the physical special split words, as that becomes available in Gen 4, that'll help a lot. Okay, so let's swap you there just to see if we might be able to get it a little bit quicker. The physical special split happening in Gen 4, that's going to allow team members to get a little bit better payoff. I'll be able to get better moves. Gen 4 also just drops some heat for attacks. Like, I have a Jolly and a Timid Shiny Mence, because I think Mence is an incredible Pokemon. But I have access to, like, Draco Meteor. I have access to Outrage. Metagross is going to get access to Bullet Punch. I'm going to be able to put Waterfall on Swampert. I'm going to be able to put Ice Punch on the Swampert. I'm going to have... Absol is going to immediately get better because I'm going to have access to physical dark attacks. I'll have Sucker Punch and Night Slash that I get access to. Nice. That was a pretty quick turnaround. I'm trying to think what else is getting. Also have access to Outrage or Draco Meteor for Altaria, which is going to be helpful. Dragon Dance is going to actually have a little bit more of a payoff for Stab. And you know, I think there's a couple other payoffs that I'm just not thinking of offhand. But it'll be good to see some of that kind of work out. Oh, with Breloom, I'm gonna get Seed Bomb. That's gonna be physical stab. Not gonna get access to close combat on Breloom until later games, but hey, it's better than nothing. Okay, so we've got a couple more to update real quick. So we got Gardevoir, we got Surskit, Masquerain, Shroomish. Nice. Okay, so then I can do this and just go like that and drop that. I can also drop that. I can drop that. Honestly, I guess I could just do that. Cool. Okay. Yeah, just helping to keep myself organized is ultimately what I'm doing. I guess we'll just leave it like that, so I can also still just move stuff around for making sure to get Pokerus spread as efficiently as possible. I think it would actually be a little bit better to do it like that. Jump right into a battle immediately. Let's go. All the stuff that we encounter on this route, I do already have shinies of. If I end up getting a random full-on shiny, not gonna complain. It'll just continue to add to the shiny count. I would like to take a moment to say that the the shiny charm in ZA is unbelievably cracked. Pair that with the sparkling power donuts that you make with Ansha, and the like reset method thing that you do for cool, so I just need one more. The reset method where you just kind of sit at the portal and you just fast travel, and just keep repeating that. It's ridiculous. The what you can potentially get for shinies. I was just
I was just tuning into a streamer that I follow, and have rated a handful of times for those who have been able to catch, but Splatto Noodles, I was able to get a head count, but out of a single wormhole, it was a 1-star wormhole, and I think it was Sparkling Power 3 for ghost types. And because I have the resources to be able to make 5-star donuts, I ended up walking out of that portal with 24 shinies out of one wormhole. I spread it out over the course of a couple days because it was like, oh, I'll do a little bit of hunting. Okay, I've just kind of been doing the exact same thing for a while. Save, turn off the game, jump back, did a little bit more shiny hunting. Save, turned off, went back, and just finished out the wormhole. But yeah, 24 shinies out of a single wormhole. Because I finished that wormhole and then jumped into a different wormhole, I think I ended up doing like 2 or 3 more, because I did still have access to a couple more shiny donuts, so I wanted to do a little bit other, hunting somewhere else. My personal record for a single day of shiny hunting, 24 shinies in a day. And that was finishing out with the ghost wormhole, and then jumped into another wormhole, got a couple more, did a little bit of shiny hunting. So that one wormhole that I got the 2, I was not shiny hunting in at all. I was just trying to get some more points so that way I could work towards doing the Rayquaza fight. Yeah, by the end of the day, I ended up with 24 shinies for the day, which is bonkers. The shiny charm is absolutely cracked in ZA, and the shiny hunting methods are just goofy, absolutely goofy. Just like, resetting in the wild zones before the DLC came out, and the reset methods that have come out for the wormholes is genuinely, it's absurd. But my shiny count already is pretty high now, because I have, like 24 in a single wormhole is that puts me in a really good spot. We are not even finished with February, and I've already I'm basically putting a pretty good amount of pressure on my last year record. And that feels pretty good to say. Do I still have a bit to go? Yes. But I'm making a pretty good run at the record that I've already set for last year. We did get this batch finished up, so we will be able to update that here momentarily. Okay, so let me update the spreadsheet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is kind of a fun shiny. It's not super noticeable, but it's kind of a fun shiny. The gold on Ninjask is also super rad. Just getting Shedinja is a really cool gimmick. Alright.
go. And what we might try to do, chat, is let's shoot for, because I have Makuhita should have gotten Pokerus before. Yes, he did. You should also... No, that's Makuhita. Whoops. Math is hard. There we go. Okay, so we have to finish out this box. So I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9 total left for the box. Let's do this. Let's get Pokerus on the rest of the box. And we'll wrap up stream after we do that. What do I have planned for next stream? I think the only plan that I really have is try to basically what I want to do on stream is have it be a talking point, is the 30 things I'd like to see for the 30th anniversary. I would like to be able to do that. I really probably should have brushed my hair before I started stream, because I'm starting to really look like a crazy homeless man. Like crazy homeless man mixed with a mad scientist. I kind of just look like a homeless mad scientist. That's kind of the look we're getting right now. Getting back to the original thought outside of me looking absolutely insane. 30th anniversary video. I would like to record that while I'm on stream. That way I can get that out before Pokemon Day. Pokemon Day is on a Friday, so I should be able to do a reaction video to that. Probably, I think while we're doing that, I think we'll work on getting Pokerus spread to the rest of... Okay. We have one of, like, 3 options. And what I'll actually end up doing is, if you are not in the Discord, join the Discord. The link has popped up in chat a couple of times. I dropped it, and then I have the bot dropping the link as well. But basically, what the options will be, and I'm gonna put a poll in my in the Discord to ask, is we'll either spread Pokerus, do shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet, or do shiny hunting in ZA. I would say we could do shiny hunting in Legends Arceus, but that does require a little bit more attention. So that's why I'm not going to do that. I probably could do a video doing some Legends Arceus shiny hunting. Because I do genuinely enjoy Legends shiny hunting. Specifically Arceus. The kind of inattentiveness you have to be for ZA gets a little samey.
But yeah, next stream, try to get that video recorded while we're doing some shiny hunting. We'll put a poll in the Discord for that. We'll probably try to shoot for... I think we maybe try to shoot for either Monday or Tuesday. We'll try to get that stream set up. So that'll give a couple days to have the stream, the poll up. Good Lord, chat. I didn't think I was that, like, half awake when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stream. My brain has been falling apart the entirety of stream, apparently. Yeah, so poll, figure out what we're doing for that stream. Work on getting that done. And then I guess what will end up happening is just kind of see what we're doing for that stream, and just kind of base the rest of it off of what we're starting with. So I think that's kind of what the game plan is for next stream. Something that I have been streaming recently, but I haven't picked up in a little while, is Elden Ring. When will we do another Elden Ring stream? There we go. Let me try this again. When are we gonna do another Elden Ring stream? Soon. We probably could, I guess, go for that Friday. No, let's... Okay, I think I'm honestly just kind of making the decision kind of on the fly, and we're kind of working through it right now just while we're here on stream. I think what would probably make sense is if we did a stream on Pokemon Day. It should be a Pokemon stream. I will be working on the reaction video. Probably try and drop that day of. Stream maybe that afternoon or evening. Maybe we could have maybe that could be another poll that we do in the Discord, just to see, like, hey, you know, for Pokemon Day, what Pokemon game do you want to see? What do you want to see? Oh, speaking of the Discord, Bot just dropped the Discord link, so if you are not in the Discord, please join the Discord. Gyoza is such a fun name for Makuhita. So I think Gyoza is the name that I gave Shiny Makuhita that I got in Scarlet, and the nickname I'm gonna give my Hariyama, and I'll actually tell the story before I cut back to the thought that we were, going through earlier. Hi ADHD, how you doing? But I was listening to a video talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Goyo Guardian was brought up. And for whatever reason, Goyo was just on my brain, and I got Hariyama, and I was like, Goyo works. You are Goyo now. So I think that's probably the name I'm gonna end up sticking with for Hariyama in Emerald.
I also just have to figure out what I'm going to name the rest of the Mons in that team. Okay, but getting back to the thought that I was having earlier. So shoot for Monday or Tuesday to record the 30 Things for the 30th anniversary. What game we are playing exactly is up in the air. I'm going to be doing a poll in the Discord server. Friday for Pokemon Day, we're definitely going to do something Pokemon related. Poll in the Discord server for what game we do for that. It could be a continuation of what we're doing on Monday or Tuesday. It could be a different game. We'll kind of find out. I don't even know, because you know, I'm leaving that to my server to decide. After that, after the big unless Pokemon decides to like shadow drop DLC for ZA, that could completely throw wrenches in everything. But I doubt that they're gonna do that. I doubt that they're even gonna drop I even doubt that they're gonna shadow drop champions. So I think what it'll end up being is, I think what it'll end up being is whatever we do Monday to Tuesday, or Monday or Tuesday, might just be a continuation of that on the Friday stream. Week after, I think we can clown a little. I think we can do a little bit of Elden Ring clowning. I'd be more than happy to get down with that plan, chat. So I think that's probably what the schedule is. Tentative. Really good way to keep up with live announcements is the Discord. That'll be also where you get announcements for like, hey, new YouTube video dropped. So yeah, you can go over to the Discord, you keep up with that. Unfortunately, for some reason, and I don't know if it's just a skill issue or not, but I tried to set up a schedule on Twitch to kind of keep track of, but it wasn't letting me actually update. So I thought that was a little bit weird. But so that's part of why you're not going to see anything on the you know, the channel page. But that's fine. I have the Discord to be able to keep people updated on live announcements or when the YouTube is getting uploaded to, anything like that. So there was also a good while, I think, with the holidays, is the efficiency or frequency that I was uploading on YouTube was relatively lacking. But I'm kind of getting back in the groove of it a little bit. This was a very impromptu stream. I'm not going to be doing that, I'm aware of. I'm not going to be streaming again later today. I might do a stream later, because as of in my time zone, it is Friday. I don't know if there actually is a time zone that it wouldn't be Friday. If there is, it's just not my time zone, just to be completely transparent. Maybe I'll do a stream later, maybe not. It would probably have to be sometime in the afternoon. I'm actually going to play Legion with one of the homies tomorrow. I gotta do
One last thing with the minis that I was working on earlier, just basically just like sealing in the paint. It's a varnish. Gotta spray that on the minis. Get those ready for gaming tonight. You kind of got a cool moveset. Cool. That finishes out the box. Nice. Yeah, so got that going on later tonight. That's gonna be, after I actually like go and sleep and make it seem like I'm a human being. Yeah, so got some Legion, which will be sometime probably like evening. Got that set up. What else am I doing? Varnishing the minis, I think. So it is completely possible that we could get a stream in. It might not be a very long one. I'll just see how time frames are and go from there. But what I'm gonna do, chat, let me just get the Pokerus infected Pokemon here in the PC. Get a Pokemon that does not have Pokerus, just so that way I can, as I think I might have said earlier, just try and maximize the ability to spread Pokerus. It looks like all I have left for spreading it, and I'm just confirming with the spreadsheet. Okay, so it looks like all I have left is just getting Pokerus on this box right here. And if there's anybody that got missed, it's just going to be a handful of stragglers. So I think what we could do is, should we decide to do a stream later today, is we can work on getting the rest of this box hit with Pokerus, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so I think, yeah, get Pokerus on this box, and then we could maybe, again, depending on time frame, we could be able to potentially jump into some ribbon maxing, I guess you can call it, or, whatever the young hip people say. Let me confirm that because Bennett will be more than sufficient for getting the job done. Cool. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and just walk out of the Pokemon Center. And we'll drop a save, but chat, thank you for swinging by. It is a late hour. Again, this was a very impromptu stream, but anybody who did decide to swing through, I do appreciate your time. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully the rest of your evening goes well. Maybe it's a really, really early morning for you, so hopefully the morning goes well. Enjoy a nice cup of coffee if that is something you're into. If you're more of a tea drinker, enjoy that. If you're an energy drink enjoyer, I'm gonna make fun of you. Don't drink energy drinks. Be cool. Drink coffee like a normal person. I'm just messing. No, hopefully, regardless of where you are, hopefully the rest of the day, night, morning, whatever, hopefully that is going well. Chat,
Again, I appreciate your time. Stay safe, be good to one another, and we'll see you soon.